Welcome back to America's Retirement Headquarters, the home of the Retirement Guys formula and America's Medicare Associates with Nolan Baker, Scott Kirshner, and Jeremy Baker. 419-794-3030 is the phone number. The website, arhq.com. Guys, I ran across an article in a Business Insider that talked about the 5 things that wealthy people consistently do to keep themselves wealthy. I know you guys have had a chance to look at the list. Let's go through it and get your thoughts on what you think about this advice.
All right, Chris. I think, number one, they have a financial plan and they stick to it. I think that's very important. When you think about it, a lot of the work that we do is developing financial plans for folks, written retirement income plans, which take them through retirement. The next on the list is they don't worry about their investments or they manage them often. I think a lot of our wealthier clients in our, private wealth division, they're usually, a lot of them are the ones that are kind of the least likely to give us a call every day if the market happens to go down, or, they don't necessarily look at their money. I'm thinking of one lady in particular. I give her a call about once every quarter, and her general response to me is, as long as you tell me I don't have to go to work, I'm going to be fine. Another characteristic of these folks is they overplan for retirement. A lot of these folks are savers. They've been saving their entire life, and they don't necessarily know how to spend money, or they kind of keep within their parameters as far as their lifestyle. They're not overbuying. They're not buying yachts. They're not taking over expensive vacations. They're not they're not over lavishing. I think there was an article I read a few years ago. What was the Millionaire Next Door, a book, and I think the number one car owned was like a Toyota Camry or a Honda Civic. Another thing they look to do is find ways to reduce taxes. They do things like, through planning with us, Nolan, they take Roth conversions. One of the things we do is create tax roadmaps for people. And we carefully orchestrate doing Roth IRA conversions to find ways to reduce taxes, to reduce overall income for things like health insurance as well. And another way is giving, charitable giving. Once you hit that RMD age, there is a way to increase your gifts by you can gift your whole RMD to whatever charity you choose, and it saves you a little bit of money, and you're able to magnify your gifts to the institution.
I mean, really, in that Business Insider, there are really good tips on what the wealthy people do to stay wealthy. A minute ago, you mentioned that book, The Millionaire Next Door. I had actually read that book a couple of years ago, and there were some really good takeaways, I think, that came from that book as well. Other good principles, I think, that the wealthy do. Talking about the automobile of, what the most popular was like a Toyota. So number one, living below your means. Millionaires tend to live below their means by spending significantly less than they earn, avoiding those lavish lifestyles. When they invest money into things that are tangible. I think the comment was before, investments that generate cash flow. So they're not going to typically go out and spend money on lavish clothing, as an example, which is a highly depreciating type of asset. They prioritize those savings and investments. So they have those consistent habits of regularly saving a significant portion of income, oftentimes saving 20% or more. And that's crucial when you're thinking about having the conversations with your children. As your child goes off to get his first job, I know my son, when he started working here, immediately had him put money into the 401k and start saving and investing early on. The third area that I would say I would tend to agree with is, if I look at my retired clients that are out just enjoying life, having a good time, and I'm like, where are they at this week? Is a consistent theme of the wealthy is they avoid debt. Millionaires avoid consumer debt and use debt strategically, if at all, often for investments, that maybe generate income. I know personally, I only use my credit card just to build, my Delta miles, and I'm able to fly pretty much anywhere, anytime I want throughout the U.S. They take personal responsibility. I think this is important. Taking personal financial well-being, avoiding the dependency on the government or others for financial support. You've got to be personally responsible with your information. Number 5 is looking at education and self-improvement. They value the education, the self-improvement, oftentimes looking for ways to enhance their knowledge and skills, understanding and taking the time to learn about their personal finance, knowing the investment methodology, the process that's used, understanding the principles of wealth building is a common trait. Economic independence, achieving the economic independence, making that a primary goal so they're in charge of their future. They're looking at the long-term plan, and they're not dwelling so much about, what happened today or tomorrow. Once they set their clear long-term goals, they're able to stay focused and motivated on those long-term goals, where the people that tend to have less wealth are worried about what the market does today or tomorrow. They're making those value-oriented purchases. So again, they're really trying to buy quality items that offer long-term value versus something that's more trendy or that impulsive buy. Strong family values and education, looking at wealth accumulation, a moderate lifestyle, prudent investing, focused on financial independence, not a status, and avoid that lifestyle inflation. So again, even as income increases, they avoid significantly increasing their spending. All those strategies that are what make the wealthy who they are and how it keeps them wealthy.
And I think one other point, while you were just saying that, something popped into my head that I heard a long time ago, and I think, getting to be wealthy, a lot of people think, that, it was born or inherited or the lottery or something like that. But I think one big takeaway is to what the wealthiest folks tend to do is save first and then spend what's left over. And what I mean by that is a lot of people, what they do, they get their income, they go spend money, and then they'll go, I'm going to save what's left over. I think a big thing would be, have a goal, like you said, 20%. I'm going to save 20% of my income, and then I can do what I want with the rest of that money.
It's a gross oversimplification, I think, of what the article is saying, but the 5 things that wealthy people do consistently to keep them wealthy, it comes down to honestly having a plan and then sticking with the plan. Perhaps you lack some of the discipline to do that on your own, and that is okay, knowing that is part of it. But the team at America's Retirement Headquarters, they can help you create that plan, to maintain that plan, hopefully give you a little bit of comfort and address that concern of running out of money when it comes to your retirement. All it takes to get started, to start developing that plan, get a second set of eyes on your plan if you already have one in place, or make changes as necessary. 419-794-3030, or go into the website, and that is arhq.com.